4, let y equal x to the square root of 2x minus 1 and find the derivative by logarithmic differentiation. Logarithmic differentiation, remember, this is just where we take the ln of both sides, and what happens is the power drops down in front. And then we apply the derivative. Because I don't know how to take the derivative of a variable raised to something with a variable in it, right? But I do know how to take the derivative of ln. And I do know that when I have ln of something, I can bring the power down in front. And then taking the derivative of this is relatively easy. It's kind of annoying, right? I mean, you have to do a product rule, but the derivative of the right side isn't terrible. The derivative of the left side is super easy. It's just 1 over y times dy dx, right? Or 1 over y times y prime, okay? Oh, sorry. 7 minutes left in the second period. All right. Um, Even when I stay home, my phone alarm goes off sometimes to let me know when it's almost the end of the period. So, okay, so you take the ln of both sides, bring the power down, so radical 2x minus 1 comes down in front. Now we're ready to take the derivative with respect to x on both sides here. So the derivative on the left here is going to be, remember, the derivative of ln of something is 1 over that something times the derivative of that something. So in this case, that'll be 1 over y times y prime. On the right side here, so I just made this a little easier. I said, hey, remember how radical 2x minus 1, another way of saying this is 2x minus 1 to the 1/2. That just makes taking the derivative of this pretty easy and straightforward. I'm just going to do the power rule on this guy. So you're going to do multiply by the power, so 1/2 times 2x minus 1, and then subtract 1 from the power. So 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. Okay, times, don't forget this. I actually did forget this here. That's why I had to scratch this step out. Don't forget chain rule, okay? So the derivative of this whole thing is power rule on the outside part, leave the inside part alone, and then multiply by the derivative of the inside part, which in this case is 2, right? 2x minus 1, the derivative of that is 2, okay? All right, big picture here. So we did the derivative of this part, and then we're going to multiply it by ln of x. So that's the d1 times 2. Now I'm going to do d2 times 1. So I'm going to leave 1 alone. I'm going to leave the first thing alone. So radical 2x minus 1. Now I'm multiplying by the derivative of ln of x. So that'll just be 1 over x. Okay. So, all right, what we have here is this kind of ugly mess here. So I simplified this a little bit from this step to this step here. So 2 times 1/2, they cancel. 2x minus 1 to the negative 1/2 is really just 1 over 2x minus 1 to the positive 1/2, right? So that's the rule of the exponent. And I just rewrote that as radical 2x minus 1. It's just a little less writing, okay? So, and then the ln of x stays there. This is just radical 2x minus 1 over x. So I condensed that down a little bit. It just makes it a little nicer. Okay, when we get to here, we're almost done, so we need to multiply both sides by y. Okay, so again, I condensed here, so I said, hey, if I have 1 over that times ln of x, it's just this. So this I left alone. Okay, please put the parentheses. A lot of you missed really stupid points on the quiz because you forgot these parentheses. Okay, and then remember, this is like sort of okay, what we have here. But we don't really like to have y. If we could just have it be all in terms of x, that's great. That's much nicer. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just substitute. We say, hey, what is y in terms of x? Well, it was up here originally. So y is x to the radical 2x minus 1. So we'll just substitute that in. I just left these things alone. I don't really mind. I don't really want to change them. So that's your final answer there.